Yo guys, what's up? My name is Chrid, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down the top 7 perks cut from Call of Duty Zombies. And yes, I said 7 perks that didn't make it into Zombies, and these are going to be in no particular order. I'm just going to name out the 7 perks that I've found in game files and stuff, and obviously from, browsing the internet, that were actually cut from Zombies and that never actually made it into the game. Now there's a few that many people have probably heard of because they're in World at War and Bo3 custom maps and stuff, but there's also a few that nobody should ever have heard of because they literally have almost no references in game files, only the names and some perks that were custom made by modders, and some of the sound files from the characters that were also in the game files. So in the number 7 spot we have Banana Colada, and this is one of the most requested perks in Black Ops 3 Zombies, but unfortunately it didn't make it into the game. There was a Gobblegum made by Treyarch called Slaughter Slide, which I guess was kind of an alternative for Banana Colada, which allowed the player to create explosions behind while sliding, but the original idea for Banana Colada was to create a slippy surface behind, like when you slid. It was supposed to create that kind of slippy surface like the Sliquifier from Diarize on Bo2, so that the zombies would kind of slip on it behind you. And this would create a small trail behind you when you slid, but unfortunately it never made it into the game. This perk was also requested by the community greatly. It was so requested that it even got its own perk machine and its own perk jingle made. You can even find this perk in some of the custom zombie mods on World at War and Bo3, so I'll leave the link to the jingle in the description, and let's move on to number 6. Moving on to the number 6 spot, we have Tough Brew. This was a perk that was originally supposed to be in Black Ops 1 Ascension, but was cut before the map was released for unknown reasons. The only way we know this was going to be a perk was because of the coding in the game files named under perk_tough brew, and also Dempsey had his own quote within the game files, and I think, well, a lot of people had their own quotes within the game files, like all the characters did, but Dempsey was the only one that actually mentioned the perk by its name, and I'll play this right now.
Tough brew, that's what I'm talking about! This drink goes down like glue!
Oh yeah, maybe this will toughen me up.
A drink for a true warrior!
There's no actual idea what this perk was going to be, but people's theory was that it was supposed to give less flinch while being hit, or prevented grenade damage, so maybe this perk was scrapped and turned into PhD Flopper. In the number 5 spot we have a short one because there's not much information about it, but we have yet another cut perk from Ascension, and this one is called Pronade. There's even more sound files for this, which I'll play in a second, but this perk was theorized to help people dive to prone faster, so I'm not exactly sure how this would help the player, but maybe it was combined with Tough Brew to create PhD Flopper. So I'll play these sound files now, and you can clearly hear Richtofen in one of the quotes say that it would help him dive to prone quicker.
Ah, yeah, that's good stuff! Those monkeys are stealing my jumping juice! Hey, that's a little bit like beer! No, the monkeys are stealing my stuff!
With this, I can go down even quicker. 9? The dirty, hairy little men things are taking my things.
I think this was rotten. They are taking the boom brew!
Number 4 on the list, we have a weird one that was also once again supposed to be on Ascension, called Boom Juice. And at this point I think they merged all 3 of the perks together to form PhD Flopper, because there's a lot of perks going on to Ascension that were never actually released. So Boom Juice has quotes once again. The characters never say the full name of the perk, but it's named under perk_Boom Juice in the game files, so we know it was an actual perk. So I'm guessing this was supposed to be an explosion type perk that prevented splash damage or something, just like PhD does. That's why I'm saying they probably merged these 3 recent perks together to form PhD.
Boom juice! Hell yeah, that drink is made just for me! DTP boom, yeah! This has texture like oil painting. This drink is pretty good, but it's so hard to swallow.
The drink that makes you go boom! Ha ha! I go boom now!
Like a kamikaze on a hot day. Ah, now this is satisfying.
Number 3 on the list we have Ammo-Matic. This is probably one of the most, known about perks that was going to be in the game but got cut, so this was going to make an appearance in both Shin or Numa and Der Riese, but was removed at last minute for unknown reasons. There are many claims that it was found in a secret area on both of the maps, but these claims have been proven false by many people who have scoured every last inch of the map on both maps, and have looked where it was supposed to be, but it's still not there. So it's a mystery to why Treyarch removed it from the two different maps at the last second, but this is Ammo-matic, and it's even had its own perk icon and perk machine made by Treyarch themselves, as shown here, but you can also find it in World at War and Bo3 custom maps. I think Treyarch's take on Ammo-matic was alchemical in Black Ops 3, where every 10 points would grant you a bullet or 1 ammo, which would make more sense than just giving the player a max ammo, because that would be completely useless for a perk if you just bought the perk and it would give you a max ammo. So I think alchemical would probably be the better option. So I think that was Treyarch's take on it, to put alchemical in Black Ops 3 and take Ammo-matic out of Darius and Sheen on. So one last thing about the perk is that there is actually various character response quotes about this perk that are still in the game files, which I'll play for you now.
Max ammo machine. Ah, genius. An ammo machine! What a brilliant idea!
Ammo machine! What a wonderful idea!
Ah! This is a blessing from the Emperor!
Down to the number 2 spot on the list now, we have Bladerade, which is a strange perk that I think was actually made up, to be honest, by a modder, or just, just someone in the community. But this was also a requested perk by the community back in the World at War and Black Ops days. The whole idea of this perk was so that the player could increase melee attack damage by about 5% and also have an increased melee range without needing the Bowie knife or the sickle. It's definitely a strange perk, and I can really see why it was never really approved by Treyarch, but in Black Ops 3, a gobblegum was actually made called Sword Flare, which a lot of you may know, which did in fact increase melee damage by around 5%, so I think Treyarch had definitely looked upon the made up perks across the years and turned them into gobblegums for Black Ops 3. Now this was in no particular order, but now for the number 1 spot we have Candelier. And if I've pronounced that right, this was a perk that was supposed to be in Black Ops 1, but there's no set map for this perk. It was just coded into the game files. It wasn't coded into a specific map, it was just coded into Zombies game files itself. So the perk icon is a row of bullets, so my guess is that it was some sort of, it was the same kind of context as the Ammo-matic, or something similar, but there was a community theory that this was an alternative ammo perk where zombies would go up in flames as they were shot. So my guess is that it's kind of a perk that wasn't put in the game because Treyarch was saving it for Black Ops 3 or a future Call of Duty game at the time when they introduced double pack-a-punching, giving you the alternative ammo types such as Deadwire, Blast Furnace and the others. So my guess is for Candelier, there's loads of perks that, that was my guess for Candelier. There's loads of perks that, don't get me wrong, there were a ton of perks, to be honest, from the community. But these are the ones that were actually coded into game files, apart from Bladerade and Banana Colada, which are actually made up community perks, but were actually still implemented into COD Zombies via gobblegums. So anyway, I know I've rambled on a little bit, but that is my top 7 perks that never made it into Call of Duty Zombies in no particular order. I spent so much time putting this together, honestly, so please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.